Sound waves on my algorithms, penning some of the hottest lyrics on the track. Witness such a cataclysm. They say I suffer from some narcissism just because my father was a king and I'm a product of divine jism. My mind is my murder weapon, human organism destined to be great and shine bright. You can hardly miss them. The road to hell was paved with good intentions. Answers to your questions in the message, learning lessons. You need to count your blessings. I'm representing for my parents' motivation to excel in life. Indeed, the speed for acceleration. My mind murder weapon can't concentrate. Verbalize thoughts connected for the stars' constellations. The son of a Haitian who has God conversation, so I can navigate through life and have an experience so amazing. With an emphasis to lead, you can find me trailblazing. There's no phases to concede, cause I bleed for my nation. Toussaint Louverture with the spirit of Dessalines. Massacre artistic like a basket masterpiece. Autistic Asperger, smash burgers, always hungry for the knowledge. You learn forever, doesn't stop at college or even in the dark. Cause at night the kids blaze bark in the park where the guns spark. You can't blame them cause life imitates art. Yeah.
If you want learning something new daily, homie, then you're not truly living. Always drop invisible jewelry, niggas just gotta listen. Being G was never the goal, being financially stable. What ignorant animals is what racist Caucasians label us. Needing a state bigger than Costco's. I don't get how this generation obsessed with squares like Rothko. Modern day Hannibal with the skill of the Coonan. You are what you eat, be more conscious of what you consuming. All of the 12 disciples line with an astrology sign. Divine time, everything is universally aligned. Energy never dies, I'm cosmically eternal. These young niggas ain't got no conscience. Wash them up, they'll burn you. The chicken don't come before the egg. God can't be a man. If you don't know how chromosomes work, you won't understand. I'm giving lyrical lectures. Have your pad and the pen. Not in the shit that make no friends, Aki. I'm just here to win. Name home more weight than all Mac heads in Mexico. No bench or no weights needed. I'm mentally flexing, bro. Flex. 1 set, 2 set, 3 sets, 4. I'm intellectually elite. They can't fuck with your ball.
Hope you're doing well. Let's get right into it. So I recently did a blog, and this blog is going to be sort of like inspired by a comment that I received in my last the blog before this one. And the comment was something to the effect of, if I'm putting all my crypto eggs in one basket, that's suicidal. And the person proceeded to say, well, good luck, right? Shout out to the person, the commenter. Shout out to, So let's talk about it. If I put all my crypto eggs in one basket, that's suicidal. Let's break that down. Clearly, it's no secret. At this point, if you've been listening to me, you know that I talk about hex. Right? And I've been saying, just offering my pseudo rendition or thoughts on hex and the DeFi space and crypto in general, and how what hex has presented as far as its style, its opportunity, and what it pretty much presents to people for you to utilize it to gain the most. This is information that is not conjecture. It's really not about even opinions, because you have over 3 years worth of data to support a certain style of winning in crypto, in DeFi. So let me give you an example. We know that the crypto markets go up and down. They're volatile, extremely volatile. You have moments where you have cycles. You have the bull market where everything is raging and everyone's happy, making money left and right. And then you have the bear market, where people are literally crying, literally leaving the crypto space, giving up, selling everything, running away, and licking their wounds. And then you have the intermediary. For example, you have a system like Hex where, sure, you can collect your tokens, you can hold them, you could trade them, leverage, do whatever, short, try to short the system, do whatever. That's one style that people pretty much utilize and know, because they don't really believe that they have the will, or they have the discipline, or they have the fortitude to delay their gratification, because everything has to be instant. For many people, they need money right now. They need money consistently. They need money every day. And that is not something to be ashamed of at all. Right? Now, when you're dealing with the Hex system, you find that there is a different way where you can yield, where you can receive rewards, where you can earn interest, whatever you want to call it. But you have to develop a certain style, a certain mindset when you're dealing with the Hex system if you're staking. Because you have a choice to stake for 1 day up to 5,555 days. So even if it's 1 day, you have 24 hours to wait until your stake ends to receive whatever rewards or yield that, the system provides when you mint your tokens. You're minting your inflation. Something that legacy system doesn't even understand. Right? And what else? There's many other things. Because you could think about, okay, I'm going to stake a certain amount of Hex and not even think about T-shares. You stake a certain amount of Hex for whatever amount of time, you receive your yield, you keep it moving. In the meantime, you had to delay your gratification. You had to push back your desire to receive that bag. You had to push it back however long. So you had to control yourself. You had to control your emotional state and condition and even addiction to want to just withdraw. And even withdraw at a cost, at a penalty, because some people, of course, life is what it is. Some people do not stake as long as they contracted themselves to stake. Like, this is a thing that's between you and a staking contract. No third parties, no middleman, no intermediary, nobody to really oversee, in a sense, and control whatever you're receiving every day. It's you and the contract. You decide how long your agreement will last as far as staking, and if you cut that short, you'll get penalized, and everyone else, including the OA, will be the beneficiaries of your mistake. In a sense, where I say your mistake is because you're getting penalized, you made an error, you staked for a certain amount of time and you cut that short, and the people who receive those penalties, half of the penalties go to the OA and the rest goes to the rest of the stakers who are in the system staking, holding true to their commitment, right? We understand this. On top of that, while you're learning about crypto, because sometimes there's so much more to just this style of investing that, some people may dig deeper. They go through the rabbit hole and they find other ways and other things that this system presents. And for some people, they just keep it on the surface and they say, look, it's like a bank account, but I'm just earning more than what a bank or checking account or banking or even a CD offers in legacy, right? Okay. I've been saying for the longest at this point The development that continues to occur within the hex system is expanding, because it's not just about, let me be clear, hex is already something that's been created. It can't be changed, it can't be altered, it can't be upgraded. It's what they call immutable. Can't be reversed, can't be improved in the sense of, modifying code. It's done and it's working the way it works. But then you have other areas of expansion that's already occurred, that's already happening, where people have built on top of that protocol to introduce other staking opportunities, other smart contracts to propel the power of hex. Because if you're talking about derivatives, that's cool. But if it weren't for hex, those derivatives that are built on top of hex would be futile, it'd be pointless, it would have no use, because they're tied to hex. Now, because I like what hex has done so far, it's my choice. Just like it's anybody's choice to accept or reject my ideas or their ideas or their opinions or whatever you want to do with this type of crypto. You could dismiss it altogether. That's not something I'm going to do, because I've already committed myself to a lengthy period, and that's fine. Don't need to know the amount, don't need to know how long, don't need to know anything. But what I do know is what the data has supported, as far as the mechanics. When you talk about T-shares, folks just scoff at it because they don't really understand 1 trillion shares and what's all this hearts and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. They don't understand. And sometimes some people just fear what they don't know. It boggles my mind when folks, all you think about is the glamour and the glitz, and you think that that's something that you may want to experience. But the problem with all of that is, when you see something that occurred that provide a lot of glamour and glitz, but it took hard work, it took perseverance, it took you having to be patient, it took you just having to just take a chance and even be lucky to even see something like 10,000x gains holding liquid, just holding the coins. And then others want to just kind of jump on that bandwagon to experience what that is, but forgetting and not really understanding that the T-share rate did more than 10,000x within 623 days, because the T-share rate is designed to continuously go up. After every person who ends stakes, that bumps the rate up. After each end stake, it bumps the rate of the T-share up. We've experienced, the contract has experienced in the last 3 years, and all the stakers have experienced who've been staking during the duration, they've experienced maximum bumps within the T-share rate from an innumerable amount of end stakes. And when big whales decide to end stake their bags, you'll see a 500% increase in the T-share rate, 600%, not percent, a 500 point or 600 points, 700 points in one clip, which means it will require people to have more hex if they want to preserve their T-share rate, preserve their T-share power, to continuously print and mint daily yield. Now, if you put all your crypto eggs in one basket, that's suicidal. Okay? If I put all my eggs in a certain legacy basket, that could be suicidal too. If I put all my eggs in one stock, if I put all my eggs in one mutual fund, if I put all my eggs into some type of leverage trading style, if I put all my eggs into Bitcoin. Now, you could say, Bitcoin is the granddaddy of them all. It's the first. It's everything what it is. And guess what? When Bitcoin goes up, I'm happy because I know it pulls the energy of the rest of the crypto market. It follows. Some people say Hex is decorrelated to Bitcoin. That's cool. That's fine. But we all know too, once Bitcoin goes up, everything else follows. In general. But I'm not crazy about Bitcoin. I'm not crazy about the technology. I'm not crazy about it at all. I'm not crazy about the fact that a majority of the coins are held by very few people with respect to the amount of people that populate this world. You want to talk about fairness? It's weird. It's weird to me. And, if you see something that's been working flawlessly, if you see something that has not only been working flawlessly with no interruptions, no DDoS attack, no issues of just, having to turn something on or off, and it's provided opportunities for people in numerous ways, consistently pay stakers every day. We know there's been an over 97, 98, 99% correction. But so has the entire market suffered a correction because why? Like I said in the beginning of this diatribe, the crypto space is volatile. It's volatile. Now you have a system here that's been audited how many times? Twice. Economic and another type of style of audit that's secured twice, right? Double locked security, all kinds of crazy weirdness, but people just look at the OA and they scoff at that because they think Richard Hart is the master magician owner of the OA, and people don't like how that feels that, he can just make big things happen or not happen and cause an imaginary type of calamity to occur. That's life in general. Like I said, how many other people who own shares, more shares in specific corporations, specific companies, specific institutions than the majority of the shareholders? Let's be for real. Let's be for real. How much market manipulation do you think does not take place? It takes place all the time. This is the movers and shakers. They know what they're doing. Big whales doing what they do, and not just whales in crypto, whales in life. I'm talking about ocean and marine life. I'm talking about human beings who have massive bags and they could just manipulate markets at whim and secure their interests by having the right representation should any type of alphabet institution run after them looking for a payday, looking to dig in their pockets. They have the resources. They have the influence, they have the power to field and wield and defend themselves from any type of freaking leech that's trying to dig in their pockets, talk about you did something that's unregulated and you deserve to pay this fine. And if that's the fine that you deserve to pay, sure, they'll pay it and hold a majority of their bags. That things that they can do that we can't do. If you put all your crypto eggs in one basket, let me tell you something. Does Hex have a blockchain? Did Hex have a blockchain? All your crypto eggs in one basket. To acquire Hex, you need to use Ethereum, you need to use USDC, you need to use all these other cryptos to acquire the Hex token, even fiat or whatever, if you're doing something over the counter or whatever. And then use the Ethereum blockchain because it's a smart contract. It's an ERC20 token. You have to use Ethereum to stake your coins. You can't stake on Polygon, but Hex is over there. You can stake on two other forked proof of work chains to date, ETHPAL and ETHFair. Folks don't really care about it because the infrastructure leaves so much to be desired. It's very lacking right now, but people behind the scenes are doing what they do, and those blockchains are fairly young. We're talking 6 months to date. layer ones. If you put all your crypto eggs in one basket, that's suicidal. Well, hey, that's subjective. And I think someone who's dealing with Hex is not really putting all their crypto in one basket if you're dealing with different chains just to utilize the staking mechanism that Hex offers. How many people are still waiting for Pulse Chain to launch? That's going to be an entirely new blockchain in and of itself. And I'm not one to really tout and speak about the projects that are waiting on deck to jump into the fold of Pulse Chain. Why? Because what's the basket? What's the crypto basket you talk about? Richard Hart. Why? What? The Richard Hart basket? Because you can't say he's just a Hex person anymore. Not when he has, not when the sacrifice periods amass $1.7 billion worth of crypto, where people are not expecting anything, but we understand that there's developments being made for Pulse Chain to launch in its entirety, mainnet. And then what's that going to bring? Opportunities for people to do whatever they want to do, utilizing that layer one blockchain that's purported to become more superior than ETH 2.0, which in my opinion right now is just trash. ETH 2.0. Gas fees are still high. They're just compliant with, these world entities that don't care about our well-being. It is what it is, but we still utilize it if you're dealing with staking. And so all your crypto eggs in one basket is suicidal. Well, then dealing with crypto in general is, could lend to some thought of just, some type of hurtful type of gloom and doom type of mindset and attitude that I don't really subscribe to at all. Like I said, too, I'm glass half full type of person. I'm not afraid to take calculated risks. I'm not afraid to take not only calculated and measured risks, but informed, to be well informed and well read and knowledgeable on what's going on here. Because everything that I do know, I don't speak on and I don't espouse on the internet, because that's not my purpose as far as dealing with cryptocurrency. There's no need for that. Regardless of how small my channel is or whatever, I just talk about what I talk about and hope that people enjoy the content and they get some type of value from it. If they get no value, shout out to them. But come on. You got a DEX coming out, Pulse X, DEX, Pulse Chain. You think Pulse Chain is going to be, compliant with these entities that want to regulate everything and put their hands in our crypto pockets? How many people are still just looking in the waiting just to find something to make money of because they deal with their own insecurities? You're talking about putting all your crypto eggs in one basket is suicidal, and good luck. You just clearly don't understand. And you have a Bitcoin logo as an avatar, so it clearly helps me understand something about, maybe this person is a Bitcoin person. I'm not surprised, because a lot of folks who only believe in Bitcoin and refuse to update their worldview have those types of positions. They think that everything else is trash and only Bitcoin matters. So all you're waiting for is for these imaginary numbers of Bitcoin to occur. $1 million for a Bitcoin, $10 million for a Bitcoin, $120 million for a Bitcoin. Oh, okay. Institutions already came, they flooded the market, and Bitcoin couldn't even break 70K. While the likes of, and I'm going to speak outside of Hex, right? While the likes of Shiba Inu broke records and performed even better than Hex, better than Bitcoin, better than Ethereum. Shiba Inu, trash, garbage, refuse, fecal matter of the crypto space, did super numbers. Something that has what type of use case? You had people, the NFT market exploded in 2021. We not forget, but putting all your cryptos in one bag. If that works for people, who am I to even judge them and say, hey, I think you're being suicidal if you put all your bread in such and such, but you made a killing. Garbage reflector contracts like Safe Moon and Cum Rocket did a killing in 2021. I don't support trash. I don't. You know? I don't support scams. I don't support things that will make people over after a period of time only enrich those who got in early and enslaved everyone who came in after. I don't support trash and garbage like that. Never will. So is your sensibility, is what you're saying to me, like, because so many people, they say 2,000 or so people, I don't know where they get these figures from, but they say thousands of people did very well and became millionaires dealing with Hex. Was it on paper or was it in actual tangible resources? Who knows? So you're saying no one else who comes in after can achieve those types of results? What happened 2-3 years ago is not even what's happening now, because we have more available to us now. When was Hex launched? In a bear market, 2019, December 2nd. Bear market. It was looking crazy in the entire market. Then crypto, and then the COVID dip happened the following year in March. Sideways activity took a while for Hex to see its glory, and it still has a lot to go. But 3 years ago and now, 2 different time periods. 3 things that happened 3 years ago, we have more available to us right now. Much more. If you put all your eggs in. I mean, it's just at some point things are just silly. It just becomes silly to me. You have the likes of Hedron. When you're staking, you earn this token whether you like it or not. So you could be mad all you want, because some people just just saw it to be a permanent dump token. And guess what? That was just infinite money that they're getting every day, that they just dumped, and they still get every day. They just won't be able to dump the amount that they dumped initially. And if they want to acquire that amount, more often than not, because of the way things have been changed over this entire year, it's not going to be easy for those people who dumped to acquire the same amount that they dumped, because those tokens are gone. They've been burned. People have acquired them. It's gone. But guess what? They still earn every single day. They're making money every day on top of whatever yield they're getting from X. They could use the Hedron and do whatever. Borrow, sell it back to the ICOSA contract, or not even sell it back to the ICOSA contract. They could stake their Hedron and earn ICOSA. Buy other HSIs from auctions. And then those Hedrons that win auctions get burned. Proceeds are being showered and poured onto everybody who's already staking. You staking a Hedron, you get ICOSA. What's that? Figure it out. But, again, you're putting all your crypto eggs in one basket. Define one basket, sir. One crypto spider that has 8 legs. Oh, I get it. Yeah, sure. That has 8 legs, and that's going to multiply, and that's already multiplied. It's already multiplied with 2 chains that people consider to be ghost chains. But guess what? The stakes are over there. They're still staking. No one has gotten scammed. That's not even a narrative you can even speak about anymore. Talk about crypto suicide. In what sense? Who's gotten rug pulled? That's a talk that's just, you can't even relate. That hex and rug pull don't even go hand in hand. For those who know, they know. Those who don't know, hey, ignorance is bliss. You understand? How many other pseudo contracts and communities that have come and gone and purported to do the same thing, and if not even better than Hex, have turned out to be garbage. You wonder why the man wants to fight for respect, which I don't even think he should do anymore. I've been saying this for years anyway. I don't think he should do anything for respect, but that's his mission. That's what he wants to do. Let him do what he got to do. But I don't think that's even worth it, because you standing on something based on its performance, based on the data that's been generated and documented on the blockchain. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to beg. There's nothing to even ask for about respect from anybody. All people are doing is expecting something, though, because that's human nature. You play this word salad game because it's a game. You play this word salad game, unexpected, work profit or work of others, and no expectations, the pool. You can't, put money in the pool, because then that's gonna be expectation, rewards. When there's money that's made and you divide it among people in the pool and all this stuff to avoid scrutiny from 3-letter agencies and all kinds of stuff. We get that. Hacking the system, right? Because we get hacked every day. How many times we have to deal with invisible taxes every single day? For those of us who live in a system, a capitalist system, who go out and spend money, we work, we already get taxed on the work. We go and purchase items, you're getting taxed again, over and over and over again. They're hacking us. They've been hacking us. But if you put all your crypto eggs in one basket, that's suicide. Come on, man. Come on, man. So if Hex changed the life of a person all around, and there's so many people that give that testimony, that's been given that testimony, you're gonna tell them that because they put all their trust, they put everything in there. It's not for me to judge. Who am I to judge someone else's well-being and blessings? You gonna say that's suicidal? What they did was suicidal, and then now the opportunities are multiplied and are going to be multiplied. This is what happens when people don't really appreciate opportunities. They don't appreciate the chances that they receive that's staring at them right in the face. Even before Pulse Chain, it becomes a reality. Even before Pulse Chain becomes a reality, people don't even understand the potential of Hedron. They don't understand the potential of Icosa, for example. And you have other derivatives. Shout out to the other derivatives. Other specific derivatives that were not here 1 year ago. Maybe the anniversary of Hedron is quickly approaching. It's at the end of February is when they launched last year, and we're now approaching the end of February practically. So this is what, I don't know the date, for example. It's some February 20 something. Maybe it was today makes the anniversary. I don't know. But my point is, these things were not here 13 months ago. And they're here now, before Pulse Chain. Right? Make it make sense. Make folks, this is not Zen, right? This is not these other tokens and other communities. And listen, man. You're always gonna have stuff like that happen too, because this is not the first time you have weird situations where people come into a space and they say that they could declare something great, and they execute and do something, and it just does not turn out to be what they promised you. It doesn't. You know how many people in the beginning, I've been in the crypto space for years, and I was following Hex from the beginning, even though I was a naysayer, I was a non-believer. You know how many people were just like laughing, including me, making jokes, videos, just parody, clowning the whole community. Meanwhile, they were just doing what they were doing, and the code was speaking for itself and working and working and working and working and doing what it's doing. And then you see price performance shoot through the roof after a year and a half, where folks didn't even understand what they had. They saw millions of X, just sold it for nothing. People made videos about how they sold millions of Hex by mistake. By mistake. One guy was sick. Shout out to him. He was sick on camera. That video's floating in the internet. I think he dropped 16 million by mistake. It cost, and at that point, it was in 2020 when that happened. 16 million gone. And other people did the same thing too. Millions of Hex, millions. It was pennies. Fraction of a penny to acquire so much Hex. It didn't take much. Ended up to provide so much monetary value in a person's life. So much monetary value, so much hope, so much opportunity, so much a big chance for people to augment themselves out of crazy debt-ridden situations. And it's still here. It's still here. Oh, but if you put your crypto bag in one basket, all your cryptos in one basket, that's suicidal. Well, then, hey, man. I emphatically disagree, because when you're dealing with the one thing, you're dealing with many. So it's not just about one basket. And folks lose sight too. They think like this whole thing with crypto, in a weird way, it helped people develop a certain lifestyle. So that's another reward that folks don't really talk about. It helped people develop a certain lifestyle, a certain, they change the ways that they think. They change their habits. They improve the qualities of their lives, right? They exercise more. They stop drinking, stop, gambling, stop doing drugs, right? Engage in certain activity that's just going to provide nothing but wellness and improve their, self-improvement and their development and their overall well-being. That's another blessing that's not tangible, that people don't even give credit to where it's due. Because, again, this falls on having some type of intestinal, mental fortitude and strength and courage and discipline to be true to your word. You want to hold out until whenever? Well, you that's on you. How committed will you be? How disciplined, how determined will you be to do that? But so many people are weak. They can't. Where do you think the whole weak hands thing came from? Because it's true, and it's not something to insult people, but it's just real life, it's reality, it's the truth. It's the truth. So many people overextended themselves, and they're scared. They're scared. It's human nature. But this is one thing, another aspect to this whole thing that Hex, and just not even just Hex and understanding crypto, has helped people understand themselves more as human beings, understand what the purpose of this whole thing is all about. Because when you get all these gains, that's coming, right? That's coming. It's a fact. When it goes up, comes right back down. As above, so below. So when all the gains come, if you're a wreck, if you're just a bumbling wreck, and I'm talking about you're just not stable, you go anywhere and everywhere the wind blows, your health is poor, you eat horrible, right? You have a crappy personality, you're not improving yourself in any shape, form, or fashion, what's going to be the point? That's the real suicide. That's the real suicide. And like I said, I don't subscribe to that. I'm not buying into that, and that's not what I support and promote. And that's all I got to say about that. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.